Hello everybody, Don here, your pop culture boy, aka your pop culture grandpapa. Y'all notice how in recent years how everyone's pushing or fiending for authenticity and rejecting anything with a strong corporate backing. That doesn't seem natural. It's almost as if we don't want anything to be sold to us anymore, and rather subtle or casual marketing instead. And we are currently witnessing this change in Hollywood and in the music industry. I've said this in about 3 different videos now, and I'll say it again. The world has reached its deficit. We are all tired, we are entertained to death, and we're all craving a reset. In both the film and music industry, celebrities are now not pretending as much. Let's face it, the industry is filled with pretenders, just like our 9 to 5. And I'm including us regular people in the mix because for some reason we act like we are so far removed from the tactics and antics that take place in Hollywood for some reason. Can we all be honest and admit that all industries share a lot of commonalities with each other? But I digress. Celebrities are exhibiting less signs of pretender syndrome. Yes, I just made that term up. Pretender syndrome is when celebrities take it upon themselves to display a desirable lifestyle for the world to admire. The kind of lifestyle that's hard to attain for most people, or to pretend they have something to offer society while always keeping up an appearance that's unique to them. Think of former wrestler The Rock. He's always seen as this strong masculine figure and has displayed this image throughout his career. Look at his movies he's been in. He always plays the badass character that always wins. And this facade also spills over into his real life image. But now in this era of relatability, we are now seeing celebs taking the mask off for a more quote-unquote real approach, not leaning into the more fake facades or grandeurs to get an audience emotionally invested. In this video, I'll be talking about how pretender syndrome in the industry is dead, how audiences crave for authenticity is affecting celebrities, and the downside to this relatability phenomenon that's taken over right now. I'm Don, pop culture boy. Let's get into it.
Catastrophic.
Gather around everybody and let's start off with a hot take. When you sign up to be a celebrity, you are automatically joining the pretender committee. Whether unconsciously or being fully aware, doesn't mean you have to partake in the performance. And I believe this because of the unfortunate preconceptions of fame or being a celebrity. Example, always acting like everything's Gucci when it's not, or acting like you are rich when indeed you are broke, or living paycheck to paycheck like most people. Again, this is not only exclusive to celebrities, as the everyday man and woman goes through this as well. The need to wear a mask in the public's eye to seem above it all. One of the most common displays from the pretenders in entertainment is exuding this larger-than-life appeal, acting like you are this big inspiration for everyone. And yes, you can be an inspiration to others, but it's when said entertainer also sees himself as an inspiration and consciously plays into it, or start making decisions based on how they are perceived. That's when one starts to become a pretender or start to suffer from pretender syndrome, when the decisions one make is really what others want to see and not how you actually see yourself. Wearing a mask for others to like you or to make whatever image or idea you are selling believable to stay relevant. Celebrities sell an image or a state of being, and a lot of times their image is shrouded in facade or something that is far from realism. We can trace pretender syndrome all the way back to old-ass Hollywood. Back when cigarettes were promoted as a healthy addition to one's diet. You know, the good old days.
Oh shit!
The late Marilyn Monroe, the iconic actress of the 50s and 60s, is one of the celebrities that first comes to mind regarding this topic. Marilyn was seen as this vivacious and exciting character back in the day of old-ass Hollywood. She was always glammed up. Her iconic blonde bob was perfect. She had ads in movies all over the town. And outside of her work, she was viewed in this light of glamour as well. She was just always on, and always played into her movie personas. The high-regarded sex symbol. The populace didn't even view Marilyn as being a real person. A lot of people from other actresses to regular people emulated and impersonated her. If she was a regular woman, you know she most likely wouldn't be disregarded in pop culture, but because she played into a lot of stereotypes, she is now seen as an immortalized icon because she pretended a lot, in my opinion.
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
Eartha Kitt is another person that comes to mind, and if you don't know who Eartha Kitt is, shame on you.
Shame!
Eartha Kitt was an American singer and actress that rose to prominence in the 50s. Throughout her career and time on this earth, Eartha was admired for her singing style, fierce, eccentric, and larger-than-life personality that was entwined with cat-like traits. Fun fact, she was also casted as Catwoman in the late 1960s live-action Batman. One of the most interesting details of Eartha Kitt's life was how she sacrificed her career in the US market. Some of y'all might not know, but in 1968, when she was asked about the war in Vietnam at a White House luncheon by the First Lady, the performer did not hold back on how much disdain she had for it. Hey! Eartha Kitt stood on business that day in the White House, breaking the fourth wall. She could have definitely pretended and gave the expected answer. That's expected of her as a celebrity, but she chose to be real. Unfortunately, her career in the US halted after that for a long time, causing her to move to Europe for work. Even the CIA investigated her after her statement and branded her a sadistic nymphomaniac. In retrospect, the situation definitely humanized her, along with her other iconic protests regarding the decline of artists in music. But that aside, Eartha Kitt was a character. Her image was larger than life. There was nothing that was ordinary about her. She lived in her own world of extravagance and intrigue.
A man came into your life. Wouldn't you want to compromise?
Stupid. Nothing in the world more beautiful than falling in love. But falling in love for the right reasons, falling in love for the right purpose, falling in love. Falling in love. When you fall in love, what is there to compromise about? I fall in love with myself, and I want someone to share it with me.
In music, other examples of the pretenders are Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince, Dolly Parton, and Paris Hilton. Remember how Paris used to speak in public with a baby-like voice? That's not her real voice. Or her whole thing was she got famous because she's a dumb blonde, which is one of the biggest lies in Hollywood. She's actually very smart. And growing up, I never really believed these people as who they said they were in the public. The glitz, the glamour. I grew up knowing it was all entertainment and bullshit due to the fact that my mother always put me on game and was like, those bitches and hoes. Well, she didn't say that, but she was like, niggas are acting. Okay, baby, don't believe them.
What do you think the difference is between that character that you created and the real Paris?
There's so many differences. With the character, it's mostly kind of this blonde, bubbly, kind of Barbie airhead. And in real life, I'm the exact opposite. I'm not a dumb blonde. I'm just very good at pretending to be one.
You actually knew what Walmart was.
Yes, I know exactly what Walmart is.
Like Eartha Kitt, there are other public figures that have, let's say, disowned their beloved personas and broke the fourth wall between us and them, shattering our perceptions or not subscribing to the public's perceived notions about them. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is an intriguing human being in the fast, bustling streets of showbiz. He started out like most promising white male actors, being booked and busy, but unlike most Hollywood actors that exudes or display a lavish lifestyle, which makes sense. Let's be honest, most with money rather act like that. But Keanu display a more simplistic display of life, a reinterpretation of success that's not a hit with the people. He rides the subway by himself, eats in public by himself, and the internet does what the internet does best, which is to give him pretentious traits virtually. He was dubbed the lonely sad guy at first, and now we've given him a larger-than-life status, the godlike S-tier ranking of the badass mystical actor who doesn't age. That's probably a vampire. And other celebrities who had a hard time with fame who didn't really pretend as much are Fiona Apple, the late Kurt Cobain, and for more relevant reasons, I want to include Taraji P. Henson, who kind of broke the fourth wall, and we kind of caught her mask slipping. A few months ago, Taraji P. Henson, who while on this whole press run for one of her films that turned into this, oh, y'all think I'm rich and shit, but I be struggling to get paid what I deserve campaign. Watch this.
And I heard on the street, Taraji, you had the audacity to say you're thinking about stopping acting. We said, stop talking. Are you thinking about it?
I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. I'm tired of hearing my sisters say the same thing over and over. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathing. And when you start working a lot, you know, you have a team. Big bills come with what we do. We don't do this alone. The fact that we're up, there's a whole entire team behind us. They have to get paid. So when you hear someone saying, oh, such and such made $10 million, no, that's not, that didn't make it to their account. Know that off the top, Uncle Sam is getting 50%. That's right. Okay? So do the math. Now we have 5 million. Your team is getting 30% or whatever your team is off of what you grossed. Sometimes not more. After what Uncle Sam took. Now do the math. So I'm only human, and it seems every time I do something and I break another glass ceiling, when it's time to renegotiate, I'm at the bottom again, like I never did what I just did, and I'm just tired. I'm tired. I'm tired.
I get that.
It wears on you, you know? Because what does that mean? What is that telling me?
What is it telling me? Yeah. And what does it tell me? Yeah.
You know? And if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, then what the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, don't apologize.
And this is a serious matter, but it's hard to feel sorry for a lot of these entertainers in Hollywood because they perpetuate a lot of the bullshit in society. This keep up appearance thing, eating nothing but tinned mackerel, ramen noodles, and honey buns for 40 days and 40 nights, but dressed in designer. Taraji low-key told us that it's all fake, as she needs a team of people behind her to sell an image to us for us to be engaged and enamored with their likeness and brands. And while I do agree with her that yes, it's fucked up being an Oscar nominee that's been a staple in the industry since the 2000s, that's still being underpaid, but I also find it interesting that now that everybody is struggling because of the aftermath of the pandemic, now celebrities want to cry and talk about how they are losing their houses and money is not coming in. Now celebrity struggle is being normalized to us. Oscar winner Monique had this same issue with Netflix lowballing her. I want to say around 2017 or 2018. Also, she's been on a fuck Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Lee Daniels, who she met up with, by the way. But still, she was on a fuck them campaign for years because of not attending the Cannes Film Festival for Precious, as she was not contractually obligated to. In turn, her being labeled difficult in the industry, and no one came to her defense. Charlemagne the God gave Monique Donkey of the Day when she aired her grievance on the Netflix situation. I guess it was a lot easier to pretend in 2018. The industry is filled with pretenders, but it's getting harder to pretend as of late. Anyway, let's talk about alter egos.
I remember right before I performed, I raised my hands up, and it was kind of the first time I felt something else come into me. Wait a minute. I knew that was going to be my coming out night.
Alter egos were all the rave in the 2000s. It's not only the pop girlies that had alter egos. Eminem was one of the first rappers to debut an alter ego in the 21st century in the US music scene. And I'm not saying there was no alter egos pushed prior M or the year 2000, but I feel like his alter ego had one of the strongest imagery or recognition then. His alter ego is known as Slim Shady, an over-the-top shit starter who is described as white trash by the rapper. Some artists' alter egos were their entire makeup, and not just a side character. Example, Katy Perry, who had an identity crisis in 2017 during her Witness era. And looking back at Katy's career, she definitely was channeling a different state of mind throughout her prime. The colorful wigs, the over-the-top cartoon personality, how she spoke like a movie star from the 1940s, her costumey attire that matched a circus performer. And I'm not dissing Katy, I'm just pointing out how her appearance and appeal is a literal character that's wrapped in fantasy, far from reality. And that's the thing, pop stars used alter egos to sell us fantasy. And who doesn't like a good fantasy? I think Lana Del Rey also should be grouped in with Katy as well. Like, come on, Lana is a nod to the golden age of Hollywood as well. Lana Del Rey's facade is just that, a complete fabrication, and a good one. I can see why people find her believable, as I just find her entertaining, and leave it at that. After the 2000s, that's when the alter egos drought started to kick in. They were no longer popular as they once were. This was when more people started going on the net. Traditional media started to lose its grip on society. Then we started to see the most popular alter ego, Beyonce's Sasha Fierce, the persona that took over her body while she was on stage. In 2011, Beyonce told Days magazine that she killed off Sasha Fierce. I killed off needing Sasha Fierce. I don't need her anymore. I am Sasha Fierce. It's interesting because now I've done it for so long, it's so easy for me to go into that performance mode.
Leave me alone!
In the early 10s, we had Nicki Minaj, the queen of rap, also slowly retired her alter egos. Roman, Nicki the Harajuku Barbie, Nicki the Ninja, Nicki Lewinsky, and many more. Even today, Nicki is wrapped in pure fantasy. The rapper did revive her alter egos for her Queen era in 2018, and I think for her latest album, Pink Friday 2, but nobody cares about alter egos at this moment as we are now in the time of authenticity and realness, hence the rise of people like Cardi B, who I recently made a video about. Go check it out. And now we are seeing artists like The Weeknd, who's been this mystery artist since his inception, dropping The Weeknd moniker for his birth name, Abel Tesfaye, and stated in an interview that his upcoming album might be his last hurrah as The Weeknd. I'm getting ready to close The Weeknd chapter. I'll still make music, maybe as Abel, maybe as The Weeknd, but I still want to kill The Weeknd, and I will, said the artist in an interview with W Magazine. Continuing the conversation on authenticity, which doesn't really exist or doesn't matter, but I digress. With a hyper focus on authenticity being placed on pop stars right now, it's making it harder for the pretenders to thrive and just be at peace. What I'm getting at is, artists can no longer just get to the bag or just do shit in general that doesn't align with their image or brand, because they'll get called out for it, becoming a discussion point online where they get labeled plants or fake. Certain tactics that was popping in the 2000s and prior aren't flying with this new generation of music listeners. Even when it comes to artists' origin stories, the audience now listens keenly, and I don't blame anyone for doing this, but it's the constant looking for dirt, cause you will find something if you look hard enough. And on that note, I want to segue to the South African artist Tyla. Now, people do not like this girl, and what I constantly hear about her is that she should be bigger. I'm not sure why she's not bigger. Well, I wouldn't say bigger because she's a new artist, and she has the hype of a new artist to me. So I would more say she is not supported like she should be, and I think it has to do with her being mixed race. Now, if you're like, oh my god, where is this old man going with this? Stick around and find out. That time she got very uncomfortable at the Breakfast Club when asked to address her being colored, a term that is not accepted in the US, particularly with Black Americans, for obvious reasons, and rightfully so. Back in the 2000s, being mixed race was strategized as a marketing tool for a lot of artists to cater to different groups of people at the same time, maximizing profit. And it appears in this current landscape in music in the US, it's not a flex anymore because today's audience knows all about the race tactics. Being mixed doesn't get you an easy pass anymore, and now people will side-eye you if you bring it up or seem too calculated when talking about it, or not talking about it. And then there's people like me that don't give a shit. In my opinion, it's mainly Black Americans that have a problem with Tyla. They don't trust her because she identifies as colored, which is problematic for Black Americans. And I know colored is a cultural thing in South Africa that is accepted, but I think it's because of this people find her fake, and as if she is wearing a mask, trying to please multiple people at the same time, which is a turnoff for a lot of people right now.
About your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Can we not? Por favor.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too. I like when they talk from the back and say we can't. I like that. I like that. That's good. That's even better.
Next one, please.
That's even better.
Yo, stupid, yo.
Did you see Kevin Hart give Kai Cenat a frame.
In contrast to Tyla's situation, pop star Chappell Roan is extremely popular and praised today, although she has done some things that I don't agree with. I can see why people flock to her, because she is quote-unquote authentic. Now, does she lean into the pretender trope? Does she wear a mask? Absolutely, but her mask is one that comes off at the end of her shift. Chappell Roan is seen as this queer rebel that doesn't bow down to the old standards accepted by her contemporaries and predecessors. And she snaps at paparazzi, even if it's kind of unnecessary. She is the perfect balance of realness and pretend for a lot of people. Honesty. One of the best things an artist can do is to be honest and tell the truth.
So I try my best to protect myself. It's this industry, like, you really flourish if you don't protect yourself.
You flourish if you don't protect yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like if you don't look after yourself, you could have a pretty big, amazing career. You've seen that kind of thing happen.
We've all seen that. We've all seen that. We all see what happens if you don't protect yourself, or and if you don't prioritize your health or mental health. You do really good.
Yeah, you have big records and perform at the Grammys.
You're massive on TikTok. You're massive on socials. Mm-hmm. You do super well.
So you're trying to negotiate, how do I achieve the goals I want to artistically and creatively, and in terms of, like, I don't know, like however big you want to be, with making sure that you're all right.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's just like it's pop music. Like it is at the end of the day just a job, and I don't plan on doing this forever. So I need to just have an identity outside of this and protect myself for when I'm 20 years from now, and I'm not just like burnt out on life.
I feel like this video will be interpreted as celebrity is dying, which is fine if that's how you process the video, but I don't think that's true. I think celebrity culture is changing. Celebrities are still celebrities, and we are seeing them just adapting. Like everyone else in this uncertain world we all live in right now. We live in this period in pop culture where everything has to make sense, even when it comes to celebrity brands and endorsements. Like I see Tom Holland introducing his non-alcoholic beverage, and he is using his own troubles with alcoholism to market it. Tom Holland launches non-alcoholic beer 2 years into sobriety. I want to create something that reflects my lifestyle and values, reports Variety. So more than anything, celebrities are adapting, watching YouTube videos and taking notes. Back in the day, when it comes to celebrity brands, we the public did not care if it made sense or not. We mostly were like, oh, such and such famous person is making more money. Grand opening, grand closing. If we liked it, we bought it, and if we didn't, we didn't. And now we voice our opinions and get into heated arguments about how Rihanna is a better businesswoman than Beyonce, as if Rihanna makes money, you make money too. Meanwhile, they're both making money and richer than all of us. Personally, I don't give a zhwp about a celebrity brands, and I'm more worried about, can I get some endorsements, because unlike your favorite YouTubers, sponsors don't fuck with your pop culture grandpapa. We have people like Rihanna, who is praised for her brand Fenty. People believes her message behind the brand. And then we have people like Master P that has all these brands that are side-eyed by the public. His own cereal, ketchup, toothpaste, shoes laces. This authenticity trip will not last for long. It's a phase in my opinion, but I do think it's necessary. One of the wonders and selling points of entertainment is fantasy and to pretend. And this real era we are in right now, is it really real? Does the world really wants the mask off? I don't think so. Look at these streamers / YouTubers who are killing it right now. They all had these real, raw, humble beginnings, shitty camera qualities, shitty backgrounds, and now they have all gradually stepped their game ups and are literally putting on shows for their audience, putting on these gigantic streams, dating shows, and IRL streams that is just reality shows at this point. Now they all have this over-the-top production. Nothing about that is authentic. They are all pretenders, but successful more than ever. Being authentic has a downside because you end up doing things to please others to seem real, and you end up losing yourself in the process. At least with pretending, you get to protect yourself. What do you think? I am Don, your Pop Culture Boy, and I will see you in the next one.